Welcome to Ancaster High School. This is a recording of the protocols for virtual class and on-site learning that is starting on Monday, September 14th. So please disregard this slide here. Moving forward. School will begin on Monday, September 14th for the 2020-2021 school year. Here at Ancaster High School, Block 1, in-person instruction will be approximately 150 minutes and will begin at 8:25 and end approximately at 10:55 with a staggered dismissal time to be determined. Lunch transition time will be 80 minutes and be approximately 10:55 until 12:15. Block 2 will begin remote instruction at 12:15 to 12:55. Block 3 will run from 1:05 until 1:45, and Block 4 will run from 1:55 until 2:35. Note, remote instructions for Block 2, 3, and 4 will all be 40 minutes plus a 10-minute independent study. The semester calendar is shown here from September to January, showing all important key dates, professional activity days, cohort days A and B, holidays, board holidays, transition, and examination days. Block 1, rotation 1 for period 1 will begin on September 14th on Monday and will run until October 9th. That will be 20 instructional days. Block number 2, period 2, will begin on October 13th, which is the day after Thanksgiving long weekend, and run until November 10th with 21 instructional days. Period 3, block 3, will run starting on November 11th, which is my birthday, and run until December 10th, and will be 21 instructional days. Lastly, Block 4, period 4, will begin on December 11th and run until January 22nd. It will also be 21 instructional days. Examination days will follow beginning on January 25th. Please note that if you are in grade 9 and 10, you will be starting on September 14th and 15th, while students in grade 11, 12, regardless of their cohort, won't be starting until Wednesday, September 16th. All students entering the building must have completed the student attestation form through Parent Portal. If this is not complete, you cannot enter the school building. Students will need to follow all public health protocols, masks, social distancing, movement within the building. The teacher will be divided into color-coded zones. Students are expected to remain in their designated color-coded zone while in the building. Students will be assigned one entrance-exit door and allowed access to a designated washroom. Students will be required to sign in and out of class when going to the washroom and will be limited to 1 or 2 students per zone at a time. Students will be expected to go directly to their class and remain in the class for 150 minutes. There will not be any breaks during this time. There will be no cafeteria service. Students will be permitted to eat during the 80-minute transition lunchtime. Students should use the school for their distance learning if they would like. They will be assigned to a designated class study hall and will be expected to remain for the full afternoon without breaks. Students are not permitted to eat in class. Students can bring a water bottle with their name on it and will be permitted to refill them at the water hydration stations. Students are expected to use hand sanitizers upon entry into the building, their classrooms, and as directed by staff. Students must follow the direction of all staff in the building to ensure their safety and well-being of all. Daily screening expectations. Parents, guardians, caregivers, and students over the age of 18 do a daily screening of their children or themselves if over age 18 before arriving at school. If you answer yes to any of the questions on the checklist, then you will stay home and let the school know you won't be at school that day. Your parent, you also need to inform public health at 905-974-9848 or your family doctor for testing. If you've tested for COVID-19, the school would appreciate knowing the testing result. There will be school signage posted throughout the hallways. These are photos of the various signage that you will see posted. Cough or sneeze into your elbow and avoid contact with your hands to your face. Keep right when walking. Keep to your right when possible when walking in the school. No more than 2 people should be in the washroom at any time, and maintain a 2-meter minimum of social distancing. Mask protocol. All students will be required to wear a non-medical or cloth mask while indoors or in a school or on a bus, including in hallways and during classes. Outdoor times can be used as opportunities to provide students with breaks from wearing masks within their cohorts, provided proper physical distancing measures are taken. Masks must cover the nose, mouth, and chin without gaping. This increases the benefits of mask wearing. Students may wear their own non-medical mask provided the student's own mask can be worn in the appropriate manner. Bandanas or neck gaiters are not appropriate masks. Non-medical masks will also be made available for students. Study hall. Study hall is the afternoon location for students to engage in remote learning. You need to stay in this location for the whole afternoon unless otherwise directed by school staff. Parents, guardians will need to indicate whether or not their student will be going home for remote learning or if they intend to stay at the school. If you choose to stay at school, you will be provided a supervised space where you can access your remote learning teachers. No extra support will be provided in the study hall. If students intend to stay at school for study hall, this will be communicated ahead of time via parent portal. Students won't be able to decide day to day whether they are staying at school or not. Your study hall will be communicated to you on day 1 of in-person learning. Study hall is for independent learning. You will be in a room with other students and will require headphones. Students will be assigned to study hall and will be assigned a specific seat to maintain distancing and for contact tracing. Students will be required to sign in at study hall for attendance. Physical distancing. Students are encouraged to maintain a distance of 2 meters, 3 steps from others while on school property and inside the building. Classrooms have been set up to ensure that desks are distanced from each other and chairs are facing the same direction. Students are not to move any desks or furniture. In the hallways and stairwells, students are to follow the directional arrows and continue directly to their designation. Students are to remain in their designated colored zone. You and your friends should come up with ideas and brainstorm how to manage seeing friends for the first time while at school. How would you manage a situation where others don't seem concerned with social distancing? Entry and exit. Students are expected to enter and exit the building from their assigned entrance-exit doors. Students will go directly to their classroom upon entry and exit the building directly once class is over. The entrance exit for our class will be communicated to you by your teacher. Entry will be permitted beginning at 8 a.m. Students will be expected to maintain physical distancing both inside and outside of the school building. If students are late to school past 8:30 a.m., they are not to enter school via the East Wing main doors. You are to enter the school via the East Wing main doors and go directly to that class. Washroom use. All students must get permission from their classroom teacher to use the washroom. Teachers will coordinate with other teachers in their colored zone to ensure only 1 to 2 students are out of class at the same time. Students may need to wait before being permitted to use the washroom to ensure physical distancing. Teachers will record the time the student leaves and returns to the classroom for contact tracing. Staff supervisors will be in the halls to ensure proper distancing and washroom capacity. Students are to follow staff direction. The washroom this class will use will be communicated to you when we see you in person. Students are expected to sanitize hands when entering the school and when entering and exiting the classroom. Students are expected to wash their hands thoroughly after washroom use. Students should avoid face touching at all times. Students can bring their own hand sanitizer but cannot share this with others. Students should limit the personal items brought to school. Classroom resources will be provided to students for individual use. When resources are shared, they need to be disinfected. For the 150-minute face-to-face block, there will not be a break for students. Students who choose to stay for the afternoon study hall can leave the school during lunch. If they choose to do so, they can return to the school building at 12:15 p.m. There will be no student breaks allowed during study hall. Students will not be allowed to leave the building for any reason unless there is a parent-approved excusal. Students will not have access to lockers during the adaptive model. Schools will review locker use as the weather changes. Bring only the essentials to our face-to-face learning blocks. Students will not be able to share supplies. Supplies may be provided by the classroom teacher, but are only to be used individually and must be disinfected by the student before returning to the teacher. Your teacher will communicate the expected materials for your class. Technology. Students should ensure that they are prepared for class with their iPad charged, as we are limiting common touch surfaces, charging stations for example, and want to ensure physical distancing in the classroom, example, getting up to plug in your device. As with other items, students are not to share their technology, meaning any devices or charging cords, with others. Students new to the school, grade 9 for example, will be provided with an iPad beginning the week of September 14th. The digital tools permission form and any outstanding tech, which could be an iPad from the 8th grade, will need to be submitted before an iPad is provided. Lunch. 80-minute lunch transition time with a dismissal travel time of 10:55 to 12:15 will be in effect. Students that remain will eat in their designated lunchroom study hall. Students who go out for lunch and are returning to school for study hall are to remain out of the building until 12:15 p.m. and will enter through the main entrance doors. Your lunchroom study hall will be indicated on your first in-person day. Cafeterias will not be open and no supplies, example plastic cutlery, will be available. Students will not have access to microwaves. Accessing supports. Whenever possible, we are encouraging students to connect with school supports, example of which are guidance counselors, student success teachers, mentoring EAs, and using technology such as email, Teams, and the Hub. Your vice principals are Mrs. Fernie, who takes care of student last names A to K, Mr. Curry, who takes care of last names L to Z. Your guidance counselors are Miss O'Sullivan, who takes care of last names A to G, Mr. Nicholson, last names H to M, and Mr. Valens, last names N through Z. Lastly, your student success teacher contact is Miss Fletcher. I've also posted a copy of the PowerPoint presentation to the Hub where you will be able to access these links. The first one is a video on a basic navigation of the Hub and an external link for Microsoft support and logging into Teams. Ancaster High is committed to fostering a safe, supportive, and stimulating environment that promotes and maintains excellence, high self-esteem, mutual respect, and personal growth within the Ancaster community. There is also a link to the Ancaster High Code of Conduct, which you can access on the uploaded PowerPoint presentation through the Hub. I look forward to meeting you all and seeing you all in the in-school block beginning on Monday, and have a safe weekend until then. Take care.